I want you to look at your morning cup of coffee and realize you're looking at a miracle of impossible chemistry. Right now, 80% of the world's population consumes a caffeine product every single day. We're talking about a global habit that involves 2.25 billion cups of coffee every 24 hours. But why? If you tasted a raw coffee bean, you'd find it incredibly bitter, an evolutionary keep-away sign designed by plants to paralyze the nervous systems of insects. Yet we've turned that toxin into the world's most popular fuel. Before we dive into how this bean successfully hijacked human civilization, make sure to subscribe to WonderDoc Studio. We're peeling back the layers of the hidden world every week, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Because the story of coffee isn't just about a drink. It's about a molecular imposter that mastered the art of lying to the human brain. But how did we get here? Legend has it that the story starts in the 9th century in the highlands of Ethiopia. A goat herder named Kaldi noticed his flock acting strangely. They were dancing and full of energy after eating small red berries from a certain shrub. When he brought these berries to a local monastery, the monks initially tossed them into a fire, calling them a distraction. But as the beans roasted in the flames, an aroma filled the room that was so intoxicating, they raked the beans from the embers, ground them, and dissolved them in hot water to stay awake for their nightly prayers. By the 1600s, this wine of Araby reached Europe, and it changed everything. Before coffee, the Western world was effectively in a permanent state of intoxication, drinking beer and wine because the water wasn't safe. Coffee provided the first safe, stimulating alternative. It birthed the penny universities, coffee houses where for a single penny, anyone could sit with the greatest minds of the age. It's no coincidence that the Enlightenment, the French Revolution, and the London Stock Exchange all trace their roots back to these caffeine-fueled rooms. We didn't just discover a drink. We discovered a catalyst for modern thought. Now that we know how it conquered our culture, let's look at how it conquers our senses. The journey from a green, flavorless seed to your mug is a violent one. When we roast coffee, we are performing high-heat molecular engineering. Once the temperature inside the roaster hits exactly 204 degrees Celsius, 400 degrees Fahrenheit, the first crack happens. This is the moment of the Maillard reaction. This isn't just one change. It's a cascade of over 1,000 aromatic compounds being born simultaneously. To put that in perspective, a complex red wine only has about 250. We're talking about Furans, which smell like caramel, Pyrazines, toasty notes, and Guaiacols, smokiness. Statistics show that for every second you leave the bean in the heat past this point, you lose nearly 5% of its organic acidity. It's a game of diminishing returns where the roaster has to decide, do we want fruit or do we want fire? But having the chemicals isn't enough. You have to get them out. This is where physics takes over. If you look at a coffee bean under an electron microscope, it's a honeycomb of cellulose. To extract the flavor, we use water as a solvent. But there's a catch. 28% of the bean is soluble. But if you dissolve all of it, it tastes like ash. The golden ratio discovered by the Coffee Brewing Institute is an extraction of 18% to 22%. Anything less and it's under-extracted and sour. anything more, and it's over-extracted and bitter. If you're drinking espresso, you're dealing with 9 bars of pressure. That is roughly 130 pounds per square inch. That immense pressure forces the insoluble oils into a colloid, a tiny suspension of liquid within a liquid, creating the crema. Without that specific atmospheric pressure, the chemistry of coffee literally falls apart. Now, the real mystery, why does it work? Inside your brain, a molecule called adenosine is building up. It's a byproduct of your cells burning energy. By the time you've been awake for 12 hours, your adenosine levels are at their peak, plugging into receptors that tell your brain to get sleepy. Caffeine is a master of disguise. Its molecular structure is so similar to adenosine that it fits into those same receptors like a blank key. It doesn't unlock the sleep signal, it just jams the lock. Statistically, the half-life of caffeine is about 5 to 6 hours. That means if you have a cup at 4 p.m., 50% of that lock jammer is still in your brain at 10 p.m. You aren't actually more energetic. You've just chemically muted your brain's ability to feel exhaustion. So is coffee a gift or a trick? It's a bit of both. It's a substance that helped launch the Enlightenment and currently supports a $100 billion global industry. But beneath the statistics, there's just you, your brain, and a tiny bean that learned how to mimic your biology. We didn't just discover coffee, we entered into a partnership with it. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the hidden science of your morning routine, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to WonderDoc Studio. We have plenty more mysteries to uncover. Until next time, stay curious and maybe, just maybe, give your adenosine receptors a break once in a while. Thanks for watching.